today I really want to talk about business. This is for all you business owners. You might be a designer. I want to talk about how to review your year and plan for the year ahead when it comes to business. It's not necessarily what big businesses do, what everybody does. I will tell you though, in all honesty, full disclosure, I never used to do this. I never, for like years, did not know the sales of my company. I did not have goals set. I had no idea. I was just floating from job to job and hoping I got the next job. The first thing I do is I review my successes and my failures. And literally I take a piece of paper, because I'm old school like that. You could use like a Google Doc. And I write down a list of all the things that I was successful at when it came to business. So whether it was our company was successful, I was successful with a new hire. Let me find some examples actually. I got published in a magazine. I started a YouTube channel. I spoke on stage, things like that, that to me were a major success. Here's the flip side, the failures. What did you do poorly, or what mistakes did you make that you can learn from? So for example, maybe you made the wrong hire. Maybe you are not on top of your numbers. That seems to be a recurring theme with me. There's lots of things that you know in your business that you made a mistake. Make a list of them. The point is to look at what you're doing well, where you've screwed up, and how you can improve. Here's where it gets super interesting, and this is not about the numbers yet, so hold on, I will get to the finances, but we really need to look at what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. So then I create, on a piece of paper, 3 columns, what I want to repeat that I did this year, what I do not want to repeat that I did this year, and then 5 things that I want to experience more of. So for example, one thing that I did this year that I wanted to repeat was filming more videos with product companies. I love filming videos, obviously, so that's on that list. One thing I did not want to repeat was attending a certain event. Didn't get anything out of it, didn't enjoy it, so I listed that down. Then in the 5 things I want to experience more, it could be something that you did that you want to repeat, or you didn't even really get to do, but you want to do it. One thing I wanted to experience more of was photo shoots immediately after a reveal. We did that for the first time last year, and it was a game changer. It was so great to already be in the space, have it accessorized, and then just swoop in with the photographer. So that's one thing that I wanted to repeat. Okay, so once you've written all that down, your successes, your failures, what you want to repeat, what you don't want to repeat, it's an eye opener, and that will help you set your goals moving into 2020. Now you want to talk about the finances. Clients, projects, whatever your business, you probably have clients or projects that you're working on if you're in a service-based business. If you are in a product-based business, it's probably slightly different, and I'm not as familiar with that. So this is really more for a service-based business. But you want to make a list of every single client that you had in 2019, and you want to go through and highlight your best clients. So they might be the best because they were so great to work with. Or maybe they're the best because they brought in the most revenue. And then put them into categories. So create a group where your best top earning clients are in one category, then there's the middle range clients, and then there's the smaller clients or the ones that you really didn't feel were a good fit for you. Once you have those clients listed, and this will take some time because you do need to look at the numbers, you do need to go through your system that you use for invoicing, tracking, whether it's a QuickBooks or a Design Docs or something similar, and you need to look at the total revenue for those clients because numbers do speak louder than anything else. Right after doing that, immediately you are going to start to see a pattern. Maybe all of the top earning clients or the most fun to work with are of a certain demographic or a certain lifestyle, and then maybe the ones that are less exciting to work with all have something in common. You will start to see patterns popping in your face before you've even looked at the next step. The next step is to look at where they came from. So who referred these clients to you? And then go through and write next to each client, referred by a friend, Judy, found me through a magazine, or found me through Instagram. Start putting next to every single client where you got them from. And honestly, it will be really interesting for you to see, if you don't already know, where your top clients are coming from and then where the other clients are coming from. And secrets out, you obviously want to then start putting your efforts into those platforms or people that are referring you to your best clients. This will get the ball rolling as you move into 2020, and you can really focus your marketing efforts to attract the right client. Okay, so numbers. Oh, I hate numbers. Honestly, I've always said that I am terrible at math. I was the only person in my high school, an all girls private high school, who somehow wiggled her way out of not doing grade 12 math. I convinced my guidance counselor that I was in drama and I was going to be doing things with my life that were artistic and didn't involve numbers. Well, I was wrong, because guess what? Newsflash, in interior design, you need to know your numbers. You need to know fractions. You need to know how to add, how to measure. Actually, I did myself a major disservice. But numbers, so let's talk about them. Because I didn't like math, and because I always told myself this story that I was bad at numbers, I was scared of them. And because I was scared of them, I never wanted to look at them. Sure, I would hand in my stuff to my accountant every year, and he would file the tax return. He'd say, hey, does this look right? I'm like, sure, that looks great. Yep, that sounds about right. I had no idea. It was really only until a few years ago that I started spending a lot of time trying to learn the numbers. And this can take a while if you are someone who comes from a more artistic background and doesn't have an affinity for numbers. These are the baby steps. Baby steps are, you need to know how much money, how much revenue your company brought in 2019. And revenue means top line, what did you bring in? Don't think about expenses, don't think about what that item cost you to buy or to make or deliver, just total money that you've collected. That is your top line sales for the year. You need to find that number. If you don't know that number, how can you grow your business? I've learned this the really hard way. It's only since I've really taken a look at the number and what I need to do to get higher has my business started to flourish. So look at your top line sales and write that down. Then hopefully you have your sales from the previous year, 2018, and you can compare. And you can say, hey, wow, I doubled my sales. For us, we have actually doubled our sales from between 2018 and 2019. But if I hadn't been tracking that, I wouldn't know that. And I would feel like I'm still in this rudderless ship spinning and not making any traction. If you use a handy dandy accounting software like we do, you can easily print out what's called a P&L or an income statement, and that will tell you what money you brought in, what your costs were, what your expenses were, and then what your net revenue is. So things that would be an expense would be advertising, your payroll, your office expenses, you name it, paying yourself. You subtract all those numbers to give you your net revenue, and that's really what you made. So you need to know that. And once you know that, you can start planning ahead. The last area that you need to review are your margins. Margin is the money you're actually making on a product or a service. So if it's a product, it's super simple. If you are buying shoes and reselling shoes, then how much is that little bit of profit in between? And you need to look at it as a percentage so you can decide which products are actually making us more money. It could be the less expensive product has a higher margin, so maybe you should sell more next year. You need to know of all the products you're selling in your business and services, which ones are the most profitable. Because if you continually do things and sell things that aren't making you a lot of money, then maybe you need to change course. This is a very intense business video. If you like this stuff, please comment, let me know. And if there's anything else you want me to talk about, let me know too. Okay, that's it. I'll see you soon. Yeah, revenue and income are the same thing, according to my design doc statement. Well, my income statement says that income is the revenue. They call it income. Those accountants have no idea what they're doing.